So a pagan friend of mine asked me, why Satanism? Why? And he was stuck on the Christian paradigm of the dichotomy of the good guy versus the bad guy type of thing. And I said, well, it goes further than that. It goes as far as back to Sanskrit, if you want to look at the term left-hand path. But every culture had its own adversarial deity or representation thereof. And when I explained further about the Church of Satan with the role of the adversary, the questioner, just be a free thinker type of thing. He actually coined the term free thinker in the conversation, and it worked out well. But that was the thing. I enjoy my diversity, but I also told him, I did sit down in a group of witches and pagans and what have you, and everybody up front in this round circle would be nice. Everybody would be holding hands, singing "Kumbaya," but when you go off to separate little groups and have dinners or lunches together, the knives come out and they backstab each other. And I said the big difference is in the social issue or the culture is that if you're in a round table of Satanists, it's kind of like a biker bar. It will whatever conflict you have will end there, on the spot. It'll be called out even. I mean, if someone calls out your bullshit will be called out. But it'll be there, done deal, on the spot. It wouldn't be people would be biting their tongue just to shit talk you later. I mean, stuff like that always happens no matter where you are. It's just that if it was like an 80-20%, 20%, 80% of one of how one culture would do it, it would be an opposite of the other culture, how they would handle it. So when you look at there's more aspects going on than just a religious difference. I mean, you're talking cultural difference too. But yeah, I mean, and it is funny, but it's also, again, it is a cultural difference because a lot of people aren't used to having conflict. In fact, when you become conflict-natured in a circle of eclectic pagans and witches, for instance, you get shot down if you're asking questions, because the first thing they'll say is, "Oh, the group is being brought down by your negativity." There is no such thing as negativity in the paradigm I'm in, because it's about you. It's about your self-development. If you're with other groups of people, you might share your ideas, but if you're talking out your ass, you'll be called out on it. I enjoy it. Discourse works if it's done correctly or constructed well. If you fight for the sake of fighting, where you're just going round and round and you're not learning from it, and it's just a cycle of horseshit, then it's time to move on. A lot of the different groups I belong to, left-hand path or other, if you go off and you have people who just fight for the sake of fighting, whether it be a whole collective or one or two people, sometimes it's not advantageous to hang around, because why be a part of something that's not productive? So it's kind of a funny thing about cultural differences or even cultural similarities, is you have to find your own personal balance. And that's how I see it. Mind you, I've been left-hand path since 13 or 15 years old. And I could document it all the way up, as late as like 1989. So it's not something that's new or transparent or some new thing with me. I've been, a left-hand path over 30 years now, and it's just something that it clicked with me. It's something that reflected myself, and with the various philosophies out there, helping me expand. I see a lot of people who, you know, get confused. And irony is, even if you're a fellow occultist, in other words, if you're not left-hand path, you're pagan, you're witch, or druid, or whatever it might be that you are, a lot of people don't know a whole lot about the other, which kind of confuses me. You know, if you're an occultist, I would assume you would take the time to learn more about other different occult practices, not religiously but studiously. And I see a lot of people don't do that, which confuses me, because I know a lot of people identify themselves as a particular paradigm, but I always put myself with my foundation, and I always identify myself as an occultist, because I try to study as much about the world religion or world uncommon beliefs that would help me round off as a person. But this is my path, and this is what I do. So I was not cornered, but I actually was approached on a second time with my pagan friend, and we conversed more. And you know, you look at the clock, and a half hour, 45 minutes blows by, just the back and forth. It wasn't negative back and forth in a traditional sense. It was just questions and answers and perspectives, and but I noticed one thing he did. And what he did was he was asking these questions that he had pent up within him, and he held on for a while, and he finally, you know, the steam blew out, and he had to ask, where he could have asked me any time. I'm very open about who and what I am publicly, obviously in YouTube, and also in my schoolroom, and also wherever. Only if I'm asked. I'm not out proselytizing myself or my church or my paradigm. So for me, it's kind of like, you know, I do find it funny that people reserve themselves around somebody who's not reserved. So anyway, my food and thought for the day, and winter solstice is around the corner, and I have a ceremony to partake in on the 22nd. It's a person's, I think it's called like a transcendence memorial service. So that should be interesting. And then came from a request from a pagan community. So I think that's going to be wonderful. So anyways, I wish you all well. You take care. And if I don't make another video in the interim, I wish you all a happy holiday, winter solstice. And for my other few friends out there, a Merry Christmas. You take care, and bye for now.